Part 1. Understanding the Basics of Grammar. Hello, how are you? My name is Sammy, and today we're going to talk about how to improve your grammar. Grammar forms the structure of any language, and understanding its basics is essential. Start with the most fundamental rules like subject-verb agreement, sentence structure, and parts of speech. Each of these rules helps you build a framework for creating sentences, making it easier to communicate clearly and effectively. Additionally, punctuation is a vital part of grammar. It guides the reader and adds clarity to your writing. Mastering where to place commas, periods, and question marks can make a significant difference in how your writing is understood. One tip to help solidify these basics is to take things slowly and focus on one rule at a time. For instance, spend a few days practicing subject-verb agreement before moving on to sentence structure. By concentrating on each part individually, you reduce the chances of feeling overwhelmed and enhance your retention. Practicing what you learn is crucial, so try to write sentences or short paragraphs using the rules you're focusing on. This repetitive practice makes the rules stick in your memory and improves your confidence. Reading is also an excellent way to absorb grammar naturally. When you read well-written content, you start to notice how sentences are structured, how punctuation is used, and how ideas are conveyed with clarity. This observation can be incredibly beneficial as it strengthens your understanding of proper grammar. Try reading a mix of materials such as books, articles, or essays to get exposure to different writing styles and vocabulary. The more you read, the better you internalize grammar patterns. Grammar exercises are also helpful tools for practice. There are many websites and apps available where you can test your understanding through exercises and quizzes. These resources provide instant feedback, allowing you to see where you might need more practice. Aim to spend a few minutes each day on these exercises, gradually increasing your accuracy and speed in identifying correct grammar structures. Finally, remember that improving grammar is a process that takes time and effort. Don't rush it. Instead, appreciate each small improvement along the way. Developing strong grammar skills enhances not only your writing, but also your overall communication abilities, making your messages clear and effective. With consistent practice and dedication, you'll see improvement over time. Part 2. Building vocabulary and contextual understanding. Expanding your vocabulary is essential for improving grammar. With a broader range of words at your disposal, you can create more precise and varied sentences, which enhances the clarity of your communication. Start by learning words that are commonly used in everyday language and gradually work your way up to more advanced terms. It's also helpful to learn words in context, understanding how they function as nouns, verbs, adjectives, or adverbs. This practice allows you to apply the right word form in the appropriate context. To reinforce new vocabulary, try using each new word in a sentence or short story. This approach helps you grasp the word's meaning and its grammatical role, making it easier to recall in future conversations or writing. Additionally, consider creating flashcards or using vocabulary apps that allow you to review and practice new words daily. Repetition is key to remembering new terms and integrating them naturally into your language use. Context also plays a vital role in grammar. The way we structure sentences can vary depending on the setting, such as formal versus informal situations. For instance, formal writing might require complete sentences with precise language, while informal writing can be more relaxed with simpler sentence structures. Practicing sentence construction in different contexts can give you a clearer understanding of grammar's flexibility and application. Write sentences for both formal and casual situations to strengthen your ability to switch between styles. Another valuable practice is analyzing how vocabulary and grammar change in various genres. For example, narrative writing often uses descriptive language and complex sentences, while technical writing may favor straightforward language with clear, concise sentences. By recognizing these differences, you can adapt your grammar to suit each style. This adaptability will enhance your confidence in both spoken and written communication. Lastly, engage in conversations that challenge your grammar skills, whether with native speakers or through language exchange platforms. Conversations provide real-life context and require you to apply grammar rules on the spot. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel, enabling you to express yourself accurately and confidently. Part 3. Mastering sentence structure and types. Understanding sentence structure is key to clear communication. Simple sentences are a good starting point. They consist of a subject, verb, and sometimes an object, making them straightforward to construct. Once you're comfortable with simple sentences, you can explore compound and complex sentences, which connect ideas more fluidly. Practicing different sentence types not only improves your writing's readability, but also adds variety to your communication style. Different sentence types serve different purposes. For example, compound sentences combine two independent ideas, while complex sentences introduce dependent clauses that provide additional information. Mastering these types allows you to express more nuanced thoughts and create a dynamic flow in your writing. Try experimenting by combining different types in a single paragraph, which will help you develop a stronger sense of balance and coherence in your work. Clauses, which are parts of sentences that contain a subject and verb, are essential components of sentence structure. Independent clauses can stand alone as sentences, while dependent clauses need to be connected to an independent clause. Understanding the role of each type can make your writing more precise. For instance, adding a dependent clause can add context or detail, making your sentences richer in information. It's also beneficial to practice the placement of modifiers in your sentences. Modifiers, such as adjectives and adverbs, add description but must be placed carefully to avoid confusion. Misplaced modifiers can change the meaning of a sentence or make it sound awkward. Practicing correct placement can make your writing more clear and polished, ensuring that readers understand exactly what you intend to convey. Lastly, understanding sentence structure helps you avoid common pitfalls like run-on sentences and fragments. Run-ons occur when sentences are combined without proper punctuation or conjunctions, while fragments are incomplete sentences lacking a subject or verb. Identifying these issues and correcting them strengthens your grammar skills, leading to more accurate and effective writing. Part 4. Avoiding common grammar mistakes. Common grammar mistakes can interfere with clear communication, so learning to avoid them is essential. A frequent mistake is confusing homophones like there, and there. Understanding the distinct meanings and uses of these words prevents misunderstandings. Another common error is in subject-verb agreement, where the subject and verb must match in number. Errors in this area can make sentences unclear and disrupt the reader's understanding. Another mistake to watch for is sentence fragments. A complete sentence should have a subject and a verb to express a full idea. Fragments, which lack one of these elements, can confuse the reader by leaving thoughts incomplete. To improve in this area, try proofreading your sentences to ensure each one expresses a complete thought, especially in formal writing. Using double negatives is another error to be aware of. Phrases like, "I don't need no help," can confuse readers, as the two negatives cancel each other out. Stick to single negatives, such as "I don't need any help," to maintain clarity. Additionally, be careful with comma splices, which occur when two independent clauses are connected only by a comma. These should be separated by a conjunction or turned into separate sentences to maintain grammatical accuracy. Tools like grammar checkers can help identify mistakes, but it's essential to understand the corrections. When a tool suggests a change, take a moment to review why it was made. By doing so, you'll strengthen your grammar skills and gradually reduce your reliance on such tools. This knowledge will give you confidence in your ability to write without constant assistance. Finally, practice is key to overcoming common grammar mistakes. Spend a few minutes each day reviewing error-prone areas, and try rewriting sentences with corrections. The more you practice, the fewer mistakes you'll make, and the more refined your grammar will become. Part 5. Practicing consistently for lasting improvement. Consistency is essential for mastering grammar. Setting aside a few minutes each day to review grammar rules or practice exercises helps reinforce your understanding. For example, you could focus on a different grammar rule each week, such as subject-verb agreement or sentence structure, to build your skills gradually. Short, daily practice sessions are more effective than trying to learn everything at once. Reading challenging texts is another effective method for improving grammar. Advanced materials expose you to complex sentence structures and varied vocabulary, enhancing your understanding. Try reading both fiction and nonfiction to observe how grammar is used differently in each style. This exposure will help you recognize correct grammar intuitively, making it easier to apply in your own writing. Writing regularly is also a valuable practice. Keep a journal or blog where you can write freely and experiment with sentence structures and vocabulary. Don't worry about perfection. Instead, focus on expressing your ideas. Over time, this habit will improve your ability to write with accuracy and ease. Consider revising your writing later to correct errors, as self-correction reinforces your understanding of grammar rules. Seeking feedback from others can accelerate your progress. Whether from a teacher, friend, or online language community, feedback provides insights into areas where you might need improvement. By understanding your strengths and weaknesses, you can focus on the aspects of grammar that need the most attention. Constructive criticism is invaluable for steady improvement. Lastly, embrace the journey of learning grammar. Mistakes are part of the process, and each one offers a chance to grow. Don't be discouraged by errors. Instead, view them as steps toward mastery. With time, patience, and consistent practice, your grammar will improve, giving you confidence and clarity in all your communication. Part 6. Developing a stronger sense of tense. Understanding and correctly using verb tenses is essential to clear communication. English has several tenses, including present, past, and future, each with its variations. Begin by focusing on the three main forms: simple, continuous, or progressive, and perfect. The simple tense describes straightforward actions, while continuous tense describes actions in progress, and perfect tense links actions to specific points in time. Mastering these basics will give you a solid grounding in expressing time relationships. Practice recognizing tenses in sentences and then rewriting sentences to use different tenses. This exercise helps you understand how the meaning of a sentence changes based on the tense used. Additionally, watch out for common tense errors, such as switching tenses unnecessarily within the same sentence or paragraph. Maintaining consistent tense usage within a single thought keeps your writing clear and cohesive. Learning conditional tenses, such as the past and present conditionals, adds another layer to your grammar skills. These tenses are essential for expressing hypothetical situations and possibilities. For instance, if I had known, I would have uses the past conditional to describe a hypothetical past. Practicing with conditional sentences helps you become more precise and versatile in your language. Another useful technique is to listen to native speakers or read authentic English content to observe how tenses are used in context. Pay attention to dialogues, as spoken English often includes a natural flow of tense changes based on time and context. These observations can help you internalize correct tense usage, making it easier to apply in your own speech and writing. Finally, don't be afraid to make mistakes with tense while learning. Practice and repetition are key to improvement. Gradually, as you become more familiar with each tense, you'll gain confidence and clarity, ensuring that your sentences communicate exactly what you intend. Part 7. Enhancing grammar through writing exercises. Writing exercises are an excellent way to reinforce grammar concepts and track your progress. Start with simple exercises like sentence transformations, where you rewrite sentences in different forms, tenses, or voices. This practice strengthens your understanding of sentence structure and grammar rules. You can also try descriptive writing exercises, which challenge you to use varied vocabulary and complex sentences to express detailed ideas. Journaling is another effective exercise. Write daily about your thoughts, activities, or reflections, focusing on correct grammar usage. This routine gives you practical experience with grammar and allows you to monitor your progress over time. After a few weeks, review your previous entries to identify common mistakes and areas for improvement. Engaging in creative writing, like stories or poems, is also beneficial for grammar practice. Creative writing encourages you to explore language more freely, experimenting with sentence structure, vocabulary, and stylistic choices. It helps you develop a sense of rhythm and flow in your writing, making your grammar use more natural and fluent. Peer review can further enhance your grammar skills. Share your writing with others and ask for constructive feedback. A fresh perspective can reveal mistakes or stylistic improvements that you may not notice. Conversely, reviewing others' writing helps you spot grammar patterns and errors, reinforcing your knowledge. Lastly, setting writing goals can keep you motivated. Aim to complete a certain number of sentences or paragraphs daily, or challenge yourself to write without making any grammar errors. These goals give you a sense of purpose and make grammar practice enjoyable. Part 8. Using grammar games and interactive tools. Grammar games and interactive tools offer a fun way to practice and reinforce grammar concepts. Many online platforms provide grammar games designed to test your knowledge in a playful format. These games cover topics like verb conjugation, sentence construction, and punctuation, making it easy to practice specific areas where you need improvement. Apps and websites like Duolingo, Quizlet, and Grammarly offer interactive grammar exercises tailored to various levels. Some apps use a game-like approach with rewards and levels, encouraging consistent practice and keeping you motivated. These tools provide instant feedback, which helps you understand and correct mistakes in real time. Flashcards are another effective tool, especially for memorizing grammar rules, verb forms, and vocabulary. You can create physical flashcards or use digital flashcard apps. Repetition with flashcards reinforces your memory and makes it easier to recall grammar rules when needed. Use flashcards for quick, daily review sessions, which help retain information without overwhelming you. Participating in grammar quizzes and tests is a useful way to gauge your progress. Many websites offer quizzes that cover various grammar topics, allowing you to test your knowledge and identify areas for improvement. Reviewing your quiz results can help you focus on weak points, making your study sessions more efficient. Finally, use interactive writing tools that highlight errors in real time. Tools like Google Docs and Microsoft Word have built-in grammar checkers that underline mistakes and suggest corrections. As you type, these tools provide instant feedback, helping you learn from your mistakes and avoid repeating them. Part 9. Analyzing and emulating native content. One of the best ways to improve your grammar is to study content created by native speakers. Reading articles, watching videos, or listening to podcasts exposes you to natural grammar usage in various contexts. Pay attention to sentence structures, vocabulary, and grammar patterns, as these insights help you understand how native speakers communicate effectively. While reading, try to analyze the structure of sentences. Notice how ideas are connected, where punctuation is placed, and how tenses change. For example, news articles often use the passive voice to report events, while opinion pieces may use a more conversational tone. Emulating these structures in your writing helps you develop a more natural and sophisticated style. Another useful exercise is to transcribe spoken English content, such as TED Talks or interviews. Transcribing requires you to carefully observe grammar and syntax, making you more familiar with spoken sentence structures. This practice also helps you see how native speakers handle grammar in real-time conversation, giving you a sense of natural flow. Creating summaries of what you read or watch is another valuable exercise. Summarizing forces you to rephrase information using your own words, which reinforces grammar and vocabulary. As you summarize, focus on maintaining correct grammar while clearly conveying the main ideas of the content. This practice is excellent for both comprehension and grammar application. Finally, try to mimic native content by writing similar pieces yourself. For instance, if you read a news article, try writing your own report on a topic of your choice, following the same structure. This exercise builds your confidence and helps you apply the grammar and style you observed. Part 10. Setting personal grammar goals and tracking progress. Setting specific grammar goals helps you stay focused and motivated. Decide on areas you want to improve, such as mastering tenses, using complex sentences, or reducing common mistakes. Setting clear goals, like, I want to write a full paragraph without any grammar errors, gives you a concrete target to work toward. Breaking your goals into smaller, manageable tasks makes them more achievable. For example, if you want to improve verb tenses, start by focusing on one tense per week. Practice writing sentences in that tense daily, gradually building up to more complex sentences. Small, focused tasks make it easier to track your progress and ensure steady improvement. Keeping a grammar journal can help you monitor your progress. Write down the grammar rules you're learning, challenging sentences, and common mistakes you encounter. Over time, this journal becomes a record of your growth and areas that still need attention. Reviewing past entries can be encouraging, as it reminds you of how far you've come. Reward yourself for reaching milestones. Celebrating your achievements, no matter how small, keeps you motivated. For example, treat yourself after a week of consistent grammar practice or when you finally understand a challenging concept. Positive reinforcement helps make grammar practice more enjoyable and sustainable. Finally, be patient with yourself and enjoy the journey of learning. Grammar improvement is a gradual process that requires persistence and practice. By setting goals, tracking progress, and celebrating small victories, you'll find that grammar becomes less of a chore and more of a skill that brings clarity and confidence to your communication. Part 11. Building consistency through daily grammar exercises. Consistency is one of the most effective strategies for improving grammar. By practicing daily, you create a routine that reinforces grammar rules and structures, making them second nature over time. Begin by setting aside just 10 to 15 minutes each day to focus on one specific grammar aspect. This could include verb tense practice, subject-verb agreement exercises, or punctuation drills. Dedicating this small amount of time daily allows you to improve gradually without feeling overwhelmed. Each day, try varying the types of exercises you do to keep practice engaging. For instance, on Mondays, you could focus on verb tenses, while Tuesdays could be devoted to punctuation. Alternating topics maintains your interest and ensures a well-rounded understanding of different grammar areas. Regular practice also allows you to identify patterns in your mistakes and areas where you may need additional focus. Another helpful practice is sentence rewriting. Take sentences from articles or books and rephrase them, focusing on keeping the meaning intact but changing the structure. This exercise helps you see how grammar choices impact tone, flow, and clarity. You'll also gain confidence in rearranging sentences to express ideas clearly and naturally. To solidify your learning, consider maintaining a grammar journal where you log the exercises you've completed each day, noting down any areas that were challenging. This journal serves as a reference for your progress and helps you track recurring errors, making it easier to address weak points over time. Reviewing your journal periodically shows you how far you've come and highlights areas for continued improvement. Finally, don't rush the process. Building grammar skills takes time and consistency. Celebrate small improvements, like writing a sentence correctly or understanding a new rule, as these moments contribute to long-term mastery. By committing to regular, manageable practice, you create a solid foundation for grammar proficiency that will benefit you in all forms of communication. Part 12. Using visualization to understand grammar concepts. Visual aids can be incredibly helpful in understanding grammar. Many learners benefit from seeing grammar structures in charts, diagrams, or mind maps, which visually organize rules and relationships between grammar elements. For example, you can create a chart comparing verb tenses or a diagram that breaks down complex sentences into their components. Visualization can simplify abstract concepts, making them easier to remember and apply. One visualization technique is to color-code parts of speech within sentences. Highlighting subjects, verbs, objects, and modifiers in different colors helps you see the sentence structure clearly. This color coding can be especially useful for understanding complex sentences, as it allows you to separate main clauses from subordinate clauses visually. Over time, this practice reinforces your ability to identify sentence components at a glance. Flowcharts are also useful for understanding grammar rules that involve a sequence of choices, such as determining verb tense based on context. For instance, a flowchart can guide you through choosing between present simple, present continuous, and present perfect based on the action's timing. These visual guides simplify decision-making, enabling you to select the correct form more quickly. Another way to use visualization is by drawing sentence trees, which display the hierarchy and relationship between words in a sentence. These trees are particularly helpful for understanding complex sentences with multiple clauses. Sentence trees allow you to see how each part connects, which is crucial for mastering advanced grammar concepts like relative clauses and subordinate clauses. Lastly, consider creating a grammar wall with visuals and notes that cover frequently used grammar rules and common mistakes. Having these visuals nearby as you practice or study provides quick references, helping reinforce your knowledge. Visualization not only makes grammar learning more engaging, but also helps you retain information more effectively. Part 13. Practicing grammar through speaking. While grammar is often associated with writing, practicing it through speaking is equally beneficial. Speaking exercises help reinforce your understanding of grammar by forcing you to apply rules in real time. Begin by practicing simple sentences aloud, focusing on using correct grammar. As you grow comfortable, progress to more complex sentences or even short monologues about daily activities, ideas, or opinions. Engage in conversations with language partners or tutors who can provide feedback on your grammar. This feedback is invaluable as it highlights areas for improvement. Real-time conversations also help you practice spontaneous sentence construction, making it easier to transfer grammar rules from theory to practice. The more you practice speaking with attention to grammar, the more naturally correct grammar will come in conversations. Self-recording is another effective tool. Record yourself speaking on various topics. Then listen to the recordings to spot any grammar errors. This approach allows you to reflect on your spoken grammar and work on correcting mistakes in future conversations. Over time, self-recording builds confidence in speaking with accurate grammar, making it easier to communicate fluently. Additionally, practice thinking in English to improve grammar usage in speech. Thinking in English forces you to mentally construct sentences, reinforcing grammar patterns and reducing the habit of translating from your native language. This habit makes grammar more intuitive and helps you respond faster in conversations, as you no longer rely on translation. Finally, use spoken exercises to practice challenging grammar rules, like conditionals or passive voice. Challenge yourself to form sentences using these rules aloud, which reinforces your understanding. By actively using grammar in speech, you make it a natural part of your language abilities, enhancing your overall fluency and grammatical accuracy. Part 14. Studying advanced grammar for precision and nuance. Once you've mastered the basics, diving into advanced grammar concepts can add depth and sophistication to your language skills. Topics like complex sentence structures, advanced verb forms, and nuanced punctuation can help you express ideas more precisely. For instance, mastering the difference between would have and could have enhances your ability to describe hypothetical scenarios with clarity. Start with one advanced topic at a time. Relative clauses, for example, add detail to sentences by providing additional information about a noun. Learning how to use and punctuate relative clauses correctly can make your writing more descriptive and accurate. Other topics, like modal verbs, help you convey subtleties of necessity, possibility, and obligation, which are important for nuanced communication. Advanced grammar also involves understanding register and formality. Certain structures, like passive voice or complex sentences, are more appropriate in formal contexts. Practicing these structures allows you to adapt your language to different audiences, making your communication style more versatile. For instance, formal writing often requires precision and objectivity, while casual writing can be more flexible with grammar rules. Analyzing complex sentences and breaking them down into simpler parts is a useful practice. By deconstructing challenging sentences, you learn how to structure similar sentences yourself. Practice reconstructing these sentences with slight modifications, which helps you internalize advanced structures and increases your versatility in expression. Lastly, embrace advanced grammar as a long-term journey. Don't rush through concepts. Instead, focus on understanding each rule deeply before moving to the next. Advanced grammar adds refinement to your language skills, enabling you to communicate with greater accuracy, professionalism, and sophistication. Part 15. Reflecting on progress and setting new goals. Reflecting on your grammar journey is an important step in continued improvement. Take time to assess how much you've learned and which areas you still find challenging. Regular reflection helps you set new goals based on your current skill level, making your study sessions more targeted. For example, If you notice improvement in basic sentence structure but struggle with advanced topics, you can set goals focused on complex grammar. Setting both short-term and long-term goals keeps you motivated. A short-term goal might be mastering a specific rule, like proper comma placement, while a long-term goal could involve writing an essay with minimal grammar errors. Achieving these milestones builds confidence and encourages you to tackle increasingly challenging grammar concepts. Regularly reviewing your past work is also beneficial. Look back at your earlier writings or exercises to see how far you've come. This practice helps you spot recurring mistakes and patterns, making it easier to address them. Additionally, noting your progress encourages you to continue, as it reminds you of the effort you've invested and the improvement you've achieved. Consider seeking new resources or changing study methods if your current approach feels repetitive. Trying different learning tools, like advanced grammar books or language courses, keeps your practice dynamic and engaging. New resources also introduce fresh perspectives on grammar, making the learning process more enjoyable and effective. Finally, remember that grammar is a skill that can always be refined. Embrace ongoing learning and challenge yourself to reach new heights. Each step in your grammar journey, from basic rules to advanced topics, contributes to a stronger command of language, helping you express yourself clearly, accurately, and confidently.